And why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to the audience and give them some background on how you ended up where you are at this point in time?
Sure, yeah. So my name is Troy Hinke. I own Living Roots Compost Tea. I've had Living Roots Compost Tea since 2017, but I've been doing this for about 12, it's going on 13 years now. So I ended up getting into soil biology. I went back to school in 2010 at Maharishi University of Management in Fairfield, Iowa. It's changed names now again. I can't remember. I think it's Maharishi International University or something. But so Dr. Elaine Ingham used to teach at Maharishi every May in the spring, and they have a block system where you do one class at a time. So she would come for the month of May. And so 2011, I had taken a class with her, 28-day intensive class in person, and just had an aha moment where I knew that's exactly what I wanted to do and what I wanted to follow. So kind of gave up school. I asked Elaine when I could go, how I could apprentice with her specifically. That year is the year that she had just become the chief research scientist at Rodale Institute in Kutztown, Pennsylvania. So she was going to be at Rodale for the month of July. Otherwise, she was going to be away doing her own talking events and things like that. So I came for the month of July and apprenticed. And through that, the people at Rodale really liked me and liked my work ethic and wanted to bring me on to work alongside Elaine. So they got a grant for me, a compost grant. And that fall, I came on at Rodale to be the compost research specialist, working alongside Elaine, doing compost and compost tea or extract research on large and small scale. So we were doing food scrap or food waste composting on site there and doing experiments with that. And then doing field applications of both compost and compost extract and looking at results. So from there, I helped Elaine teach classes. And from there, I went out and just started kind of teaching, giving presentations here and there, and then doing microscope analysis here and there. And I had been doing microscope analysis at Rodale. People were sending in samples. And then my friends in the Nashville area, I've got a couple friends with small businesses, Cliff Davis with Pig and Leaf and Jeremy Lekich with Nashville Foodscapes. Both were like, hey man, you should really get a compost tea business going. So I wanted to get like just kind of a small side thing going. Is my mic going good?
Yeah, you sound perfect, my friend.
Okay, I thought I saw you word something there like there was an issue.
No, I was yelling at the dog.
Okay, just wanted to make sure. Anyway, yeah, so they were like, hey, you should get a business going. And I just had kind of gotten a small side business going to do like lawn, landscape, garden sprays in the Nashville area. And when people started finding out about my experience, they wanted to consult with me. So it ended up being half compost tea sprays, half consulting. And then a couple of years ago, I relocated from Nashville back to the Kutztown area. I actually am not too far from Rodale again. And since moving, I'm pretty much just doing consulting with growers or composters, as well as doing microscope analysis. And here and there, I'll do a compost extract or tea spray for someone, but I'm not pushing it or advertising it or anything like that.
Fantastic. I always wondered where you came from when we met at Rodale, and it was Maharishi, because I think there was like, 7 or 8 of you guys that came for that summer?
Well, I came in the fall to work with Elaine, and then the next summer there was a bunch of interns that signed on from having taken a class with Elaine that wanted to come there. So then there were interns that came the next summer to work on the microscope after I had been there, yeah.
Yeah. So I remember when I came to Rodale to show Elaine my fish product, and basically I knew that when I poured it on plants, we'd have great plant reaction, but I didn't understand how it worked. And so I came down to meet her, to show it to her, and try to get her to explain what it was and why it worked so well. And I think I met you probably within, I don't know, a month, less, about that when she started explaining to me, well, you need to microscope it to understand what it is you're looking at. And I remember going up into the microscope lab, and I'd bring a vial of my different levels of aeration extract from the fish manure, and I get, some of those interns would look at me like, "What the fuck? That smells like hell."
Yes, I remember.
But I was trying to understand at that point too, like what was the best way to aerobically stabilize it? Like how long, and did I need to do anything other than aeration, and how much aeration? So I was, again, learning to manipulate the material in a way to make it more beneficial. And you were the only one in that group that were basically like, "Oh, Leighton, here, this is a nematode. This is a a predatory. This one's a fungal feeder." Because the other ones are just like, "Get the fuck away from me."
Yeah.
So that was quite a journey down there.